Hey, what's up everybody? It's come time for me to replace my center serving on my bow. So I'm gonna pop that off and throw it on my Baker Archery Products string making jig. So I got a press and a jig, makes it real easy to do that. I'll just pull the string off, throw it on the jig, take my D-loop off, take my center serving off, and recenter serve it. Throw the string back on my bow, and then I'll do my D-loop and knocking points and all that stuff. But so I've got kind of a perk there, kind of lucky that I've been able to purchase a press and this string jig and all that stuff to aid in the process of getting this stuff done. Once I get the string off and thrown on the jig, I will take a quick video of what my center serving looks like before I even take the D-loop off and the center serving off to see how chewed up it is. So without further ado, I'm gonna jump into getting the string off the bow right now. As you can see, I've already got it in the press, so I'll press it, pop it off, and then throw it on the string jig, and I'll start up a different video to continue on from there. So fairly quick and easy. This is my string. Obviously you can see I still got my peep and my D-loop on and my nose button. Took it off to where I didn't lose any twists, because once I redo all this stuff, hopefully in theory I shouldn't have to do any other twists to stay in time with my cams. And once I wrap my new center serving up, throw my peep in there, shouldn't have any issues with anything else like that. And actually I won't even take my peep out, it stays in. So all right, so here is my string jig. Right now I just got it set up on a wooden sawhorse. I've got more unistrut right here, and Butch Baker's unistrut kit there. I just need to cut one of these other pieces of unistrut, then I'll actually have unistrut legs and can put more twister stretchers on there so I can stretch more than one string at a time. But this is it. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And I threw the string on there. Obviously you can see it, black string. And what I was hoping to get a picture of or a video of was to see kind of how chewed up that is. Not horrible, and it still shoots good, but I just want to replace it so that I've got new. So stay tuned. I'll get this pulled off, knock sets pulled off, center serving pulled off of there as well, and then we'll start fresh. All right, sorry if the video's shaky, but we're zoomed in and I've actually got a hand on each side of my phone here, my camera. But I'm going to take the D-loop off, nothing crazy. I'm sure most people have done this. Anyone that does their own work on their bows or replaces D-loops. So I will just cut the side off of it from each side, and there we go. So yeah, this thing's tore up pretty good. Hard to see my knock sets on there because they're black, as well as my center serving. But this center serving that I ran on this was only 16 thousandths. People don't normally run that small of a diameter, and I just wanted to try it out. So this go around I'm actually going to run 18 thousandths, and it does look like D-loop and knock sets pinched or pushed through. You can see right there, you can actually see bare string. So push through that 16 thousandths. It lasted fairly well for 16 thousandths, but I've had better luck with 18, so I'm gonna go back to 18 thousandths, and hopefully my knock fit will be fine, which I believe it will be. I thought it was just as little snug when I did it the first time, but we'll check it out. So to talk about the knock fit here, this is what I'm running. It's an AAE IP6 knock, and 16, obviously you can see it slides up and down real well. Isn't terrible side to side, but it's a little more than I would like, I guess. So it'll be nice to get this 18 thousandths back on there. But once I do, this should be a little bit more snug and maybe not spin so freely, but it'll still be loose enough that I've got good knock fit. So yeah, we'll get the 18 rolling. All right, so I got I got my nocking points off, and you can see that that center serving's tore up pretty good. Of course, it's not going to focus for me, the greatest, but torn up pretty good. But I wanted to go over a quick trick when it comes down to taking off any serving, not just your center serving. So instead of sitting here and unwinding it piece by piece, I know everybody does things differently, but what I'll do is kind of let it unravel itself like it is. And then if you just run your hand the opposite way of it's wrapped, you can get it to where it loosens up and just pulls off. So again, taking it, unwinding it the opposite direction that it was wrapped and pull it off. Makes it go by a lot quicker. And there it actually was just broke. So, good time to replace it. This center serving was in fact worn out. The whole idea with the center serving, of course, is to protect your string, which it's done a fairly good job at. This string, the actual string that I've got on here, oh gosh, I know I've got more than 10,000 shots in it easy. And I'm pretty impressed with it. I've been building with Bloodline Fiber, and I've had really good luck with it. It's a very low maintenance and no maintenance, basically, string material, no wax. And I have not waxed this string and or my cables a single time since I built the string and put it on. So I'm really liking what's going on. I don't have a lot of movement either. Once I got the string shot in, maybe after, I don't know, 40 to 60 shots, I had zero movement with my peep, and I still don't. So I'm very impressed with that. But, all right, so you can see where my center serving was wrapped. Normally, people would mark each side of it, which I would have as well, but I've got my string building and serving specs on a cheat sheet over on my table, and also I can see where it started and ended, so that kind of helps me there. But next up, serving. All right, so kind of hard to see just because of the light, but I did end up going and putting down my two little marks as far as how long I want my center serving to be. And we're going to get after it today. I'm trying out, new to me, I guess, the October Mountain Products serving jig. I've also got bear paws, and I've had good luck with the bear paws so far, but just wanted to give this one a try, because if you loosen up one of the sides, you can actually have spools ready to go, and you just loosen them up and pop them out instead of having to take the whole bar out of the center and redo all that stuff. Anyone that's messed with string jigs, serving jigs, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So I already know that the twist of my string is twisting towards me, so I'm going to wrap the same direction, and I'll just start right at my mark, and I'll put my first wrap down and overlap. And this is how I start, and how everyone I've ever watched starts their servings. So we'll go, I'll get a good, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 wraps. I think that's about 5 or 6. I'll do a total of 10 on each end of it, which is probably a little overkill, but maybe not. Right now I'm looking pretty good as far as where it's starting. I'll slide it over just to cover the mark there and kind of pull on the tag end. Not very hard, but just snug it up a little bit. Finish up with a few more wraps, and then I'll cinch the jig up to the actual string itself, and we'll start rocking and rolling. I'm going to go with that. Good enough. It'll hold. So I'll cinch that up. I tend to serve fairly tight. I don't really have them set up right now, but Butch Baker makes a post here, and it clamps on the string on both sides of your serving. That'll keep your string from twisting. Good Lord, I can't talk today. So we got cinched up, but I can hold it fairly tight so it won't twist on me. But this is it, running 18 thousandths. This is how I replace a center serving. Basically how I serve any serving. once I get over this tag end, you can hear it catching, kind of makes it a pain in the butt. There, we're getting off of it. Speed up a little bit. So that's that. Every serving I do them by hand. I haven't bought an MW spinner yet or anything like that. I just don't produce enough strings to where I need one, I feel like. But I feel like I've had pretty good success with going by hand, so I'm going to stick with it for now. This is it. This is the long and boring part too. And just so we're aware, I am serving under about 200 pounds, 150 to 200 pounds of tension that I've got my string stretched to with this string jig. That's the nice thing about Butch's stuff. He's got a gauge on his twister stretchers that show you how much you're stretching at. Obviously we want to serve under tension because when our string is on our bow, it's under tension. But this is it. Nothing crazy, nothing too difficult. Anybody can do it. Hardest part's trying to do it when it's on your bow, which it can be done, but it's kind of a pain in the butt when you do it up there because you don't have much space underneath your string here for swinging your jig all around. So I'll get, when it comes to the end, about 1/8 of an inch away from my mark or so. We'll pull a bunch out and then do what's called back serving. Basically, you'll make a loop. I'm trying to make sure I'm doing this the right way here. Always kind of gets me. That's going to wrap. So we've got the loop. Can't really, I'm trying to figure out a way to get you in here so you can see it better. And I'm not the only one. Obviously, if you watch a bunch of videos, you can go off of what other people are doing. But basically, we're back serving here. We create a loop, and then we're serving through the center of this, and that's what buries that tag in like we did at the start. Eight or 10 times should be good enough. Pull some string out. I laid it across where I was actually serving from, and now I'm going to wrap over that. Keeping decent tension. It doesn't have to be crazy tight. It'll tighten up when you use pliers and pull your tag end through. So you're basically unwinding what you served up. When you're done with that, you grab your tag end and you just pull it through. Basically all I'm doing is I'm using my jig on the other end. This stuff will cut you if you're not too crazy, but all I'm doing, if you can see it, which is kind of hard to focus on, is pulling the string underneath and closing this loop that I've got at the end that I was back serving through until it gets tight. And there you go. Whoops. And that's that. It breaks if you're not careful. All right, and then on the other side, since it broke, same thing. You can see how this is served over. What I will do is just pull this tight, cinches it down. You can see how it kind of came back across my little mark there. So as it pulled it tight, we Got everything sucked down pretty good, and that's it. So that is a brand new center serving. Very simple, anyone can do it. And just to check, same knock, still good knock fit at an 18,000. So a little bit thicker diameter. Oh yeah, there's a little bit less play going left and right on that knock, and still good spin. So that is what I'm looking for. Good click. And that's that.